Hi, I'm Sal with Grow Your Garden with Sal. Thank you for tuning in this morning. I hope you'll have some great gardening and farming questions ready because we've got something special for you today. Each caller that calls in and asks a question and shares their garden experience will receive a Sal's onion growing kit. That's a Sal's onion growing kit. So the number to call in is 803-799-8255. Again, that's 803-799-8255. I am joined here with Joshua. Hey, Joshua, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here and producing the show. You make it remarkable. So the onion kit, if you don't know, we have a website called growyourgardenwithsal.com, and we have a bunch of different kits to teach you how to grow. One of the things you can grow right now and all the way into March are onions. They're really, really super easy to grow. And like I said, if you call in with a question today, Joshua will take down your information and we'll get a free kit out to you. So the phone number to call is 803-799-8255. And about 8:30, we will talk to H&J Cattle Company, and they will be telling us about some of the Thanksgiving deals they have. And if you know if you're in Columbia, I know some people is going to be listening later on YouTube, all over the place. But in Columbia yesterday, it was insane. I was just talking to Joshua about this. The sun came out and it was like baking everything, and then it was cloudy and it was cool, and then it was hot and it was cool. You didn't know what to do. So it's interesting. We're growing summer stuff and winter stuff at the same time. And our collards, cabbage, broccoli was not happy every time that sun came out. But I just brought Joshua some jalapenos and some habaneros and some ghost and some Carolina Reapers.
Let me start off with something else. Last week you brought me these. You said that they were sweet peppers, right?
Yeah.
Is there like a name for them, or they're just
sweet snacking peppers?
Sweet snacking peppers.
Yes.
Well, I was a little bit skeptical. I'm not gonna lie, skeptical, but I brought them home and they were great.
They don't look real, do they?
They don't. I mean, they don't taste real. They're great. I've never tasted a produce like a vegetable or a pepper that is sweet. And so
yes. That's one of my favorite ones. It comes in all different colors. The bright orange is one of my favorite colors. And so next year, I'm going to say about May, we're going to get Joshua a bush for sure that he can plant.
Well, you brought me like how many pounds of jalapenos?
Oh my gosh. I asked Tracy.
Habaneros and ghost peppers, Carolina Reapers. Let's just say it's going to be on fire for a couple weeks.
I asked Tracy to go down and pick a few peppers, and she picked a lot of peppers. What are you going to do with all those? I hope you have a lot of friends who like spicy things.
Jalapeno poppers, I guess. But how is it hard to plant peppers like that?
No, peppers like pretty hot weather to get started. The hardest thing is starting them from seeds because you need it to be really hot. We have a greenhouse that's heated so we can get them started a little bit earlier. And then you're going to plant them probably about mid-May. Like I said, I'd say about 5 years ago, we were planting in May 1st. And it's still cold, and peppers do not like the cold weather. And they'll produce all the way until December if, we don't get frost. So,
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
They're great. And I love jalapenos. And I don't know, it's just always been a good, it just always tastes great. So.
And what'd you say you were going to do with the habaneros?
Habaneros, couldn't tell you. I'm scared to try them because I'm sure the fresh ones are much spicier.
Don't give them to Kevin telling him it's a sweet snacking pepper because they're the same color.
I'll give one of the Carolina Reapers now. That'll go over well.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So what did you do this week? Did you do a lot of gardening?
We definitely did it. Well, it was a lot of rain too, so it got a little bit of a break and got to do a little bit of the housework because it's been so dry for so long. And one of the biggest questions I had this week was, you tell us not to water too much, but it's watering, it's raining for several days. The difference between rainwater and regular water is the rainwater's got nitrogen in it. So it's actually feeding your plant. Your plant's growing as it's getting watered. So when you're watering your plant, you're just giving it water. You're not giving it nitrogen. So that's one of the big questions that I had this week. And a lot of people are sending me pictures of their collard plants having yellow leaves on the bottom. That's essentially, well, it could be from a couple different problems. Now, collards are always going to have yellow leaves on the bottom. And you can just pick them off and you can put them down on the ground, and they're actually feeding the microbes is what they're trying to do. Now, if you're getting a whole lot of yellow leaves, that's going to be a red flag. You're probably getting too much water. So you may have to back up. In the wintertime, now it's supposed to be winter. It's supposed to be fall.
Winter. In quotations. That's exactly. Not even, in the South, it's not even a thing.
I wish I had looked at the thermometer yesterday, because I don't even know how hot it got, but golly, it felt so hot, and then, like I said, it would just get cloudy.
You said the plants didn't like it. Well, I don't think anybody in South Carolina liked that weather either. So
no, hot and humid, and yes, icky. A good week to, if you could work in the house a little bit, a good week to do that.
Yeah.
Or to get the onion kits ready. So we have a subscription garden box that we've been doing for over 8 years now. So if you want to learn how to garden, this is just a fantastic way to do it. It's a box that comes in the mail once a month. It comes with the seeds you can plant within that month and the directions. And you also get free classes at my store, too, if you subscribe to our box. It makes really good Christmas presents, Hanukkah presents, Kwanzaa presents, whatever kind of holiday, birthday presents.
So you mentioned if people call in, they'll get a free onion box.
Yes.
So what does that include?
So you get 30 onions, you get the fertilizer, and you get all the directions on how to do the onions. And onions are something you can do even if you have an apartment. They're super, super easy to do. So the number to call in is 803-799-8255. Again, that's 803-799-8255. And
we'll take your call. And we'll take your call, and Sal, the expert, will answer your questions.
Yes, I definitely
because I am certainly not the expert in this conversation. So,
yeah, and a lot of people are going to Amazon and getting different AI books. Apparently, this is a thing now.
And eating mushrooms.
And eating mushrooms that the AI books tell them to do. So
probably not a good idea.
No, exactly. So I don't know a whole bunch about mushrooms, but please go to an expert. Don't do the AI books, please.
I couldn't eat anything I just find in the random in the woods or whatever, but just me.
Depends on how hungry you are.
Be right back.
Thank you. Hey, welcome back to Grow Your Garden with Sal. I'm here with Joshua, and Joshua has a really special announcement that I am so excited.
Well, it's your announcement. I am just relaying the information.
Yes, but you're helping me with it, so...
Well, I'm excited too. So, we've been talking, and a lot of people want to pull up the show while they're driving or whatever, or just around the house, or maybe while they're gardening.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to put the show up in podcast form every week, and it's going to be on Spotify. It's already on YouTube.
Yes.
It's going to be on like SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere where you get a podcast. It's going to be, and free. It's free.
That's exciting. Thank you so much. I like to get my hands dirty in the garden, and Joshua is the tech person. So maybe he can get me a little techie, and I can get him a little dirty.
How about...
His face just turned so red.
How about you fill me out with peppers and amazing food. I'll take that.
I'm excited about Get Your Girl some onions. So I think next time, come to the studio next Saturday, I might bring you a little onion kit. What do you think?
That'd be good. Can you grow garlic?
Yeah, you can definitely grow garlic. Now, it's hard to find right now because everybody's pre-booked it. But if I can find some for you, we'll get some for you.
I think anybody likes garlic. You could never have too much of it.
Yeah. And it's a little bit of a shortage of garlic right now, and the garlic prices are insane. I hadn't booked as much garlic as I normally do, and I was selling it for $1.75 a bulb, and I'm seeing it going for almost $3 to $5 a bulb right now. So it's definitely a little shortage on garlic. If you got it, you got gold. So hang on to it.
Wild.
Yeah, and I'm not really even sure why. I don't know if it's got something to do with the temperatures. Not real sure what's going on with that. But if you have a garden question, call 803-799-8255. Again, that's 803-799-8255. And Joshua just had a great idea about picking a plant of the week. And
do you have one on the fly?
I do have one on the fly. I think now is a great time to plant lettuce. It's very easy to plant from seeds. And lettuce comes in all different colors. You've got red, purple, all different kinds of lettuces and textures and curly. Most people know about the iceberg lettuce, and that's about all they know. And the iceberg lettuce doesn't really grow that great in the south. It needs cool weather, long hours to head up, and it's not the most nutritional lettuce.
What about like a spinach?
Spinach, you can grow spinach now too, yes. Spinach is a little bit finicky as far as coming up. It's a little bit harder than lettuce. The biggest thing you need to remember is the size of the seed is how deep to plant it. And I wish I had some seeds right now so I could just show Joshua. The seeds just look like a fleck of grass. So you're pretty much just going to throw that right out on top of the ground. So the size of the seeds, how deep you're going to bury it. Spinach is a little bit bigger of a seed than the lettuce. And the big thing about the spinach is if it dries out before the plant emerges out of that seed, it's not going to come up. So what I suggest is going ahead, wetting down. Don't make it soupy, but wet down where you're going to be putting it out in good, living, nice soil. With compost mixed in. Get your soil, invest in soil. I keep telling people all the time. I actually brought Joshua a little poster that had all the microorganisms living in the soil and what living soil is supposed to look like. So it looks
maybe
a
that
little
fish. What's that fish stuff that we were talking about last week?
Fish emulsion.
Maybe it has something to do with the fish emulsion.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't deal with that. That was...
No, I don't. If you got dogs, you probably don't want to use fish emulsion. But start with a good soil. Put down the spinach seed. Spray it down lightly, but wet it in pretty good, and then cover it with some newspaper for a couple days. Don't forget to pull the newspaper up. That's the biggest thing. Do not forget to pull the newspaper up, because I've done that before. Pull it up, and then the spinach will start sprouting, and you won't have a problem with it. I've had several people say it has to be 80 degrees for spinach to come up, and I don't believe that's true. So we have a call?
Yeah, Sherry.
Sherry, how are you doing?
She has a question about lettuce.
Hey, how are y'all?
Hey, doing good.
So I've got a question about lettuce. Because I know that it doesn't like extremely cold weather, so should it be planted somewhere that you can kind of put up a makeshift covering for it when it gets bitterly cold?
Yes.
Or, it just, okay.
Yes, and it can take a light frost, but the last, what was it, last year or the year before last, we had that, got really, really cold for 8 hours or something? Excuse me. Yeah, it cannot take that. So, you can also put it in pots and bring it around, move it in and out. works really well too. What kind of covering were you going to put on it?
I'm going to plant it up against the back of my greenhouse, so it'll get sun, but then that way I can attach something to it and just kind of put like a makeshift. I've got frost cloth, so I can hang it so that it would not touch the plants, but it would give it some protection. And can you do the seeds like you can do, your summer crop? Can you do lettuce like every couple of weeks, so that you just keep it going?
You can. Now, lettuce
throughout
is
the winter.
Yeah, lettuce is cut and come again, so you can keep cutting it. Yes, and it doesn't need as many sunlight hours, so it can do well even in 4 or 5 hours of sunlight. So it's
that's why I put it behind the greenhouse, so it'll only get about 5 hours anyway.
Yeah, the only thing is it does not like heat, and it is bitter, bitter, bitter when it's hot.
Yeah, I know. That's why I haven't planted much of it yet. But I was thinking I'm just going to broadcast the seed, and then I'll just have more of it to pick from rather than just doing individual plants. So I'll see you next week to get a bunch of lettuce seeds.
Yay! What kind of lettuce is your favorite? Do you like a mix?
Yeah, I like a mix. I cannot do iceberg anyway, so I could care less whether it grows here or not. Probably my favorite is the leafy. But I like a mix of it. I'm not into some of the other, I guess they're lettuces like endive and things like that. I don't really care much for the flavor of those. So, but yeah, I like any kind.
One great one that grows here is the black-seeded Simpson. It's not black at all. But I guess,
don't care what color it is. The colors add variety to it.
It does. Yes. But the seed, I think the black-seeded Simpson comes from the seed being a little bit darker. It does really well in the south with the temperatures kind of going up and down and up and down. But I like to do like just a big old mix of everything, and even putting in some other brassicas, like some kale, some rapay, and just because it's so pretty, the metallic mustard in there, it just makes a beautiful salad. It's metallic purple, and we don't have enough metallic purple food in our lives.
Well, I do have a box that I could do those three in separately from the lettuce, because my husband's not a big kale eater. But that might be a way to sneak it in, but put it separately just in case, so that I can always put that on the side. So here's an option for something new to try. Oh, that'd be good. So now I have 2 boxes planned.
Oh, yeah, that would be great, because you never can get enough lettuce, and lettuce is one of those things that people keep getting sick from the grocery store from. So if you can grow your own fresh
and it's
lettuce,
getting more and more expensive, too.
Oh, my gosh, it's insane, ain't it? It is just insane, and you don't really even get that much, and it doesn't last that long. So think about where your lettuce had to come from to get to the grocery store, and then the shelf life once you get it home, and how much handling it got. So if you're growing it right out of your backyard or a pot, and if you have an apartment, I mean, you could still grow it on the yard, on the what do you call it, the deck.
Yeah.
Deck. There you go.
Yeah, the deck, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't take up any room.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And you only need, I would say, if you could get a wider pot, then a deeper pot would be fine. I would at least go probably about 6 to 8 inches deep. Yeah, so thank you so much, Sherry.
Well, one more. What about herbs?
Yeah.
I know my sage is always well, not always. I did lose one this year, but I think that was more to the drought than anything. Is it better to keep herbs in pots and like put them on a back porch somewhere, or what would make it, what would actually overwinter in a garden area? Yeah,
I think the best thing to do is get you some pots that you can move in and out. That way, if it gets super cold, because most of your, not really basil, but, sage, my rosemary, too, made it outside, even though, through the cold. And that way,
I have plenty of rosemary.
You got plenty of rosemary.
I can probably supply the eastern half of Colombia with rosemary.
Once you get it going, and pretty much just leave it alone, right, Sherry? I mean, if you leave it alone, it's gonna keep. Yeah, people are like, how did you get your horseradish to grow, and how did you get your rosemary to grow? I'm like, I just got so fed up with it, I left it alone, and it grew.
You mentioned horseradish, and I just remember I have one. When do you harvest that?
When you harvest what, hon?
Horseradish.
Horseradish? Now, in the South, pretty much when the tops start to die from the cold, which, you know, could happen, could not happen. Anywhere like in Florida, you're going to get a jaggy leaf and then it's ready to harvest. So I just tell people, just dig up some of the roots and use it as you need it. Because there's no bona fide, you know, thing in South Carolina, because they're not going to go dormant. And they're also not going to get that jagged leaf because we're not warm, you know, year round. Do you have some horseradish growing?
I do. I have it in a pot, and I keep forgetting about it. So it just keeps coming back. It dies back, it comes back. But I'm like, oh, yeah, I probably should harvest some of that.
Yeah, a lot of people gotten on me about growing horseradish saying it's invasive. I have not found it to be invasive at all. You will get these roots that go out kind of everywhere, but, you know, unless the climate changes really, really quick in Columbia, it's not super invasive, in my opinion. Now, everybody can have their own opinion, of course, but have you seen it taking over your whole yard?
No, I keep it in a pot intentionally because I use the same boxes every year for different things, and that way I don't have to worry about if it dies back that it's gotten tossed out when I change, you know, add in new soil or whatever. So there's certain things. I have that in a pot. I have ginger in a pot. I have sunchokes in a contained area because they are invasive.
Oh, yeah, they're super invasive.
Thank you for your call, Sherry.
Hey, thank you, Sherry.
And we'll be right back. Thank you.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back to Grow Your Garden with Sal. Thank you for tuning in today. And we have got a caller on the phone right now, Miss Nova. Hey, Miss Nova, how are you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes. Good morning, Sal. How are you?
Yeah, doing good.
Good. I'm back to onions. This week with the rain, my collards. I do a garden bed, box garden.
Yes, ma'am.
And I put my onions out the way we planted them in the class in front of the collards and cabbage. Well, this week with the rain, they're just growing up, and they're kind of covering the onions. And I wonder if do I need to move my onions because they're not out open. You know what I mean? They're the leaves themselves of the collards and cabbage have kind of grown over where the onions are.
How close are they to the collards and cabbage?
Probably about a couple of inches.
Ooh, yeah.
Because the leaves as they grow.
That's probably
a little safe to move.
Yes. So when you move them, try to dig up because the onion roots are going to be really deep. So by really deep, I'm talking about maybe 2 inches. So take like a spoon and really dig around them. That way you can try to get all that root with them.
Okay.
Now, if they're in with the kale and stuff, you'll probably be okay. But collards, cabbage is a little bit bigger.
Yes, I didn't think about that when I put them right along the edge. What should I might need to thin out my collards and cabbage a little bit.
How close are those?
Those are about a couple of inches apart too.
Ooh, yes. You got some work to do.
So can I move the collards and cabbage too?
Yes, you can. Now, again, you need to try to dig out as far as you can the root base. How tall are your cabbages and collards right now?
I don't know how to estimate it. I don't know, but they're
taller than your hand.
Yes, might be just at it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then you're pretty safe on digging those up. Yeah, just separate them a little bit, space them out. Just make sure that you get a lot of the root. So I'm estimating that root base is probably going to go down about 5 inches and maybe 5 inches across. So if you could dig out like a 5 5-inch down, 5-inch around the plant. And then, you
Okay.
can space them out like that. And then you can put an onion in between,
Okay.
right?
Yes. So it might be better to move the collards out than move the onions. Like.
I think that would
On
be
the
okay.
cabbage.
Yeah, and you could play it by
Yeah.
ear too. Yeah, you definitely can do that. The one thing is that onions have different water requirements than collards. So them being that close to
Okay.
them, maybe, just make sure you don't overwater your onions pretty much.
Okay, so onions need less water.
Yes, less water. They kind of
Okay.
need to be left alone. Make sure you fertilize them once a month with that organic tomato tone.
Exact. Okay.
Yeah. I bet your stuff is
Okay.
looking really pretty after this rain, ain't it?
It really is. It just, I mean, that's what I said. Oh my goodness, my collards are just covering the onion, but they are beautiful. Just
It's-
beautiful. That nitrogen is so good.
It's just like magic. Yeah. So when the raindrops come down, it's a chemical reaction that causes the nitrogen to get into the water, and it's only in the water for about, I believe, 6 hours, depending on the heat. So as soon as it hits the ground, the plants can eat it, and it just makes them pop. So, yeah.
It does. Mhm.
And thank
Well,
you.
that helps a whole lot. Now, Sal, I sent a text, so just ignore it because my computer's out. I'm having to talk with you, listen to you on my phone.
Oh, great. Thank you for tuning in
Okay.
on the phone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Did you have any
Thank
other
you.
questions?
I'm enjoying it. No, I'm just enjoying listening and learning. Thank you so much.
God bless you. And you can text me, and we'll get you that onion kit too. Or come by the store, either way.
Okay, I'll be there tomorrow for the class. For the
Oh,
herbal class.
yeah, for the herb
Okay.
class. Yay. Thank you so much, Nova.
All right, thank you. I'll see you later.
Thank you. Bye. And we have another caller?
Yeah, we have another caller, Honey.
Honey. Hey, honey, how are you doing?
Hey, Sal, you remember me?
Remind me who you are, honey.
Okay, I left my plant tone and I never came back and got it. And we took some
Oh,
pictures.
I do know who you are. Yes. We took a picture together.
Yep. How you been doing?
Hey, been doing good. When you gonna come back and see us?
Soon, man. I'm over the road now, so I gotta come back through when I get back down that way.
Well, how's your garden doing?
I kind of got some people watching it for me and watering it for me. They told me my rappies was coming up pretty good, and I got all my collards and mustards and broccoli and cabbage that I got from you. They say they're growing pretty good. I'm just trying to keep whatever's chewing on them off. Because, the warm weather, they come out and chew.
Oh man, that's a mess, isn't it? So yeah, definitely some bug spray right now, and trying to figure out which kind of bug. Do you know what kind of bug's doing it? Slugs are bad right now.
Yeah, I think it's slugs. And then somebody told me just sprinkle salt around the bag. I use grow bags. So then somebody said sprinkle salt around the base of them so they can't get to them. But I don't know if they live in the dirt or what. I don't even know.
Yeah, so this is a good way to get rid of slugs without using any chemicals. So take a 5-gallon bucket and go out in the garden and put it upside down. And then about 9:30, 10 o'clock, go out there, flip it up, and the slugs will be all inside the bucket. All on the side, because they're trying to get all that moisture.
Oh, okay. And then just take them somewhere else and dump them out?
Unless you got a recipe for them. You might, I don't know if you want to, yeah. Well, it's up to you what you want to do with them. If you want to humanely put them down, if you want to relocate them, just don't relocate them to my place, okay?
That's cargo for you.
Yeah, there you go. Joshua, what do you think? Would you eat a slug? You have to be mighty hungry, huh?
No, I don't. No matter how hungry I am, I'm not eating a slug. But I mean, that's just me. Everybody to each is their own. But that's not for me.
Well, maybe you go fishing with it and get some fish emulsion.
I will definitely not. I will tell you what though. I ate a salad one time. There was I don't know if it was a slug. It was like a caterpillar or something in the salad at a restaurant.
I've done that before out of the garden. I was like, why does this cabbage taste so bad? And I look and I was like, oh my God, I guess I'm not a vegetarian today because I just ate a couple slugs.
That's disgusting.
So check your cabbage for slugs. But yeah, putting that 5-gallon bucket upside down. If you have a big garden, you can do it in several different spots. Normally by 10 o'clock in the morning, they're going to be up in there.
Okay, I'll take note of that. I do have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
I had started my tomato seedlings. I did everything right, got my grow lights in the house and everything, and brought them out. So I had these indeterminate variety tomatoes. They were supposed to be green tomatoes, and I think the Cherokee tomatoes. It was just a variety bush. Now my little small cherry tomatoes, they just grew. They still growing outrageous.
Yeah, cherry tomatoes are easy to grow.
But this one, I got 1.5 maybe little green tomatoes on this bush, and nothing ever produced. And I've grown two rounds of cucumbers and 1 or 2 rounds of squash, and nothing came up. They was like all male plants, and I was like wondering why that is.
Okay, so first of all, how many years have you been planting in the same spot?
I do fluff up the dirt and clean it out and strain it and put new dirt in it and new fertilizer, and I let it sit like that over winter. I do that.
Okay, so I think you're missing the compost is the biggest thing. And then what kind of fertilizer are you putting down?
I use black cow and mushroom compost.
Okay, that's compost. Yes, that's good. So
maybe you're just missing the fish emulsion.
Yeah, maybe you need
Sal
that.
tells me that's very important.
Last week we were talking about fish emulsion. I think Joshua's got nightmares about it now. So do you have a winter garden too?
Well, I just did my greens. I got all the greens and carrots and beets. It's something else. I got potatoes in. I got onion and garlic. Yeah, I do got a winter garden.
Okay, that's good. So in order for your organisms to survive, they need some crops. That's why it's so important for cover crops. If you have a winter garden, that's the same thing. You're totally fine. Every single time that you replant your garden, you need to recompost. Mushrooms perfect, cows perfect. But also remember, that's the microbes and what the microbes have already ate. So the microbes are hungry, and you got these tomato plants that are super heavy hitters. I mean, you're talking about Muhammad Ali. You know, I eat 1,200 calories a day. He eats probably 6,000 to keep, when he was in prime. So you've got to fertilize. Yes, a friend of mine named Mike, he's like the expert on tomatoes, and he put it, that was his quote. He said, you're talking about comparing a plant, like a cherry tomato plant, which is, super, super easy to grow, to something that needs a lot of calories, a lot of extra food. So that's one thing. And what kind of green tomato did you do? Did you do the green zebra?
That might have been what it was. I don't know. It was just a variety pack that I got out of Texas. And,
I haven't had a whole lot of luck with the green zebra. Definitely call me at the store next year before you get started, because Mike had given me some tomatoes that's some big green tomatoes, and they actually did really, really well. But fertilizing once a month with that tomato tone, and I am so sorry that you left it at the store that day, will make go really, really far to getting your because remember, when your plants are growing, they're taking all that nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, magnesium, iron, all those vitamins out of the soil, and you're eating them. Well, there's nothing going back into the soil, so you've got to fertilize. And fertilizer, like I said, is different from soil. Compost. It's two different things. Compost is the organic matter that's already digested with the microorganisms in it. And then fertilizer, at least organic fertilizer, you're feeding the microbes, which are feeding your plants. And then you don't really have to adjust the pH and everything because the microbes are doing the work for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with the sprinkling, I should be sprinkling that about like once a week?
No, once a month. It feeds for once a month. So you come off the plant about 2 inches, and depending on how big the plant is, yeah, you put it down. And I'll talk a little bit more when I get back to it. Thank you so much, honey.
Thank you, and we'll be right back after this break.
If you
Y'all, welcome back to Grow Your Garden with Sal. I am so excited that Sherry, Nova, and Honey will all be getting their onion grow kits. And so like I said, that we have on our website. Let me get my thoughts together. I'm sorry, my voice is like leaving me from all the allergies going on right now. We have a course that you can take. It's a monthly subscription for $35 a month, and that includes shipping, and you get a box shipped to you each month. And the box has in it seeds, sometimes plants, sometimes bulbs, and just interesting stuff that you can grow within that season, within that month, actually. We're very fortunate in Columbia to be able to grow pretty much year-round. And most of South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas can grow year-round. And we even got people in New York, Michigan that subscribe to our box, and they grow a lot of stuff inside their greenhouses. So if you're interested in signing up for the box or getting it for somebody for Christmas, the website is growyourgardenwithsal.com. Also, salslocalseed.com. And just go under seeds, and there's a drop-down menu. If you have any problems with us, just call us at the store at 803-786-6546. And I think we have another caller.
Yeah, we do. But before we get to that caller, you said so if you are a subscriber to the boxes, you get like consultation with you.
Yes,
you can call anytime. I mean, but I guess anybody can call you, but you get more one-on-one like training and stuff with the boxes if you're a subscriber.
Yes, you do. We give you feedback. I tell people all the time, send me pictures of what's going on in the garden. Because this box, you're going to be a successful grower if you get this box. We're going to not let you fail. There's just that's not an option.
Yeah, you take them on as your child. If you're a subscriber, you kind of Sal takes you in and it just helps your garden. And it's like takes the garden in as their own and helps you out and teaches you how to become successful with it. But yeah, we do have another caller. Jenna is on the line.
Hey, Miss Jenna, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good, Sal. How are you?
Hey, doing so fantastic. What you got going on today, hon?
So, well, I saw the radio show and just wanted to call in and pop in. So, Sal, I'm still very new to gardening, and this fall garden is my first time. It's my first time planting a fall garden. Now, I did happen to come by your shop. I think it was a couple of months ago to get some seeds for fall, and so I just planted the leaf lettuce mix. And I've never grown lettuce before, so I wanted to ask you, I know that I went to one of your gardening classes and I sprinkled the seeds just on top of the soil, and so they're starting to grow, and I would say they're about 2 inches tall.
Ooh.
How do I care for those? Do I just let them grow, or do I have to cut them, or...
Yeah.
That sounds so silly.
No silly questions. Just silly answers. So, what are you growing them in?
So, okay, I have, let's see, it's a big, I'm growing them in 30-gallon grow bags.
Okay, great.
So I have Yeah.
Great. Okay, so they're only about 2 inches tall right now, and our weather has been a little kooky right now with it hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Well, not really cold,
Right.
but cool.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't fertilize yet. You got such little baby
Okay.
plants. The biggest thing is don't overwater. And I know it's been water. Are you in Columbia?
I am. I actually live 10 minutes from your shop.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's been raining so hard, but like I said, that's nitrogen going into it and creating the plant to grow. So you don't have to worry about, overwater with the rain unless it gets insane. But
Okay.
the biggest thing is let that, when we finally get dry again, when you water, you only want to water in about the first inch. And a good, this is going to sound kind of silly and kind of like boring, but picture a 5-gallon bucket, or get a 5-gallon bucket, get your sprayer that you normally use, and then count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, until you figure out how long it took you to get an inch of water in that bucket. Now, after that, use that sprayer and pretend, because I'm thinking you got a 30-gallon grow bag?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that would be about 4 5-gallon buckets, right? So sit there and see how many Mississippis for a 5-gallon spot, a 5-gallon, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Okay.
Yeah, like,
perfect.
Yeah, and that'll help you judge. And put your finger into the soil. If it's super dry water, if it's still damp, you can you can miss watering, except if it gets really hot.
Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, awesome.
When it gets
That is
about
amazing.
5 inches tall, I would start using the tomato tone once a month.
Okay.
And you can
I bought a bag of that. I just
Yay!
Oh, sorry, go
it's
ahead.
really good stuff. And that'll feed for the whole month. And every time, or you can eat it at any size, but when you're ready to eat it, just cut it. Just make sure you leave about 2 inches to 3 inches at the base, and it'll keep coming back every 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that
you'll-
is so cool. I have never seen lettuce grow before, which I know sounds so silly. I mean, I probably could just Google it, but I've never to see it actually growing in your garden. It's so cool. But we are so excited. And then I have one other quick question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
I also got some collards and broccoli and cabbage going on, and those plants I would say are probably about 8 inches tall. Now, I would say maybe 3 of them. I'm out here looking at my garden now. 3 of them, it looks like bugs might have gotten to them. I have some leaves that look like they've been chomped on. Is there a pesticide or something you would recommend maybe for that? Or
Are they big round holes? Or are they little holes?
not, they're kind of all over. It's not really a consistent. It almost looks like they've been torn, or like one of these holes right here is about the size of the end of my pinky.
Yeah,
if
I
that
think
gives
that's
you any-
probably slugs. So take one of those 5-gallon
Okay.
buckets, put it out where you can. I know it's going to be kind of hard with you growing stuff in buckets too. But you could put those 5-gallon buckets upside down next to your other stuff, next to the pots. And about overnight, those slugs will go up into there. And then about 10 o'clock in the morning, you can take care of the slug problems. You can also
my
put
goodness.
some
So
different
just
dust
put
and
an
stuff
empty-
down. Yeah,
And
empty.
just put like an empty 5-gallon bucket, and that's it.
Yeah, because they want the dew that's settling in there.
Oh, that is so interesting. Oh, my goodness. That is wild. Okay, I'm probably going to do that today. Thank you
Yeah,
so
let
much.
me know
I
how-
appreciate your help.
God bless. Thank you so much. Let me know how it works.
I will. Thanks, Sal. Have a good day.
Thank you,
Bye.
Jenna. Bye.
And we have 2 other callers, so it's going to be the speed round before the end of the show. But next we go to Estella.
Mrs. Stella, how you doing?
Wonderful, my love. How are you?
Oh, is this the Estella?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
how are you
yes, my
doing?
beautiful. I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful. Yeah, I have a question for you. And it's not about curly leaves because, you know, the leaves are doing fine and I have peppers that are still out, you know, still growing. But my question is about the sugar cane. So I don't remember whether I planted it December or January of this year, but they have grown very, very tall. And so when the storm came, it kind of threw them down some, and I kind of, you know, just mount them back up. But roots are growing up from them, and I tried to cover them, but they're too tall, you know, so the roots are growing up. So I wanted to know if I should, you know, just cut them and replant them.
So normally,
because I didn't want,
So normally normally Halloween's when you cut them. I had to cut mine early because of that storm. So when the sugarcane starts laying itself down and starts bending, what it's doing is replanting itself. So go ahead, cut it. Eat what you want, and then go ahead and bury the rest about 5 inches into the ground to keep it from freezing. Yep. And Estella, text me because I know you got my phone number. Text me your address so I can get you an onion box. And we got like several callers on the line, so I am so excited about you calling. Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful, blessed day.
God bless you, honey. Who's the next caller?
We're going to go to Jose, and it's our last caller. We only have about a minute left, so.
We got 1 minute, Jose.
Okay, quick question. On the onion, you said feed it with the tomato tone. How far am I sprinkling tomato tone on the onion bulb? How far? Or around it, whatever.
Yeah. Try not to touch it. With the onions, you could probably just take a handful and just throw it over there. You just don't want to pile it up on top of it. I know everything is pretty much perfect in your gardens, perfectly spaced. So what I would do is take about a half a teaspoon and put beside each onion. Yeah.
Just close to it, but not really touching it.
Not really touching it. Yes.
Okay. All right. That's what I was concerned about. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, hon. I really appreciate it. Yeah. And y'all, thank y'all so much. Again, my name is Sal with Grow Your Garden with Sal. I'll be at the farm 11:30 to 3 today. We've got sugarcane to sell. We've got onion kits. We've got all kind of different things going on. So definitely subscribe to our newsletter at growyourgardenwithsal.com. And think about buying one of our kits or buying our subscription. And if you don't want to buy the whole subscription, we also have various growing kits that you can purchase online too.
You have a lot of onion kits to send out.
A lot of onion kits. That was insane.
6 callers, so thank you very much. But, it was a great show.
Yeah, thank you so much. And one quick shout out to H&J Cattle Farm. Thank you so much for allowing us to do this. Thank you so much. Bye.
June bug gardening tip 103. Plant your tennis balls shallow like your lettuce seeds in order to grow the biggest tennis balls.